you, okay? Did
All
you get the
set?
host? Okay, good. Good night.
Good night, Roxanne. Thank you. All right, so let's get this meeting going. I call to order our special meeting on August 19th, 2021 at 5:32 p.m. for roll call. Oh, hold on. Admit, Ellen. Ellen, are you there? Ellen, are you in? All right, well, I see her on my screen, so. All right, roll call is Lori Harry, Market Manager here. Jamie Allen, Assistant Market Manager here. April Burnell, Treasurer here. Pamela Ball, Secretary here. Committee members, Ellen Granger, Pete Harry, and Bill Thorne are all here. Absent is Amy Yaris. She is traveling to New York. Did everybody read through the previous minutes? Does anybody want to make a motion on to approve the minutes?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the August 5th, 2021 meeting.
I'll second. That's
All in
April.
favor?
Aye.
Hi, I'm gonna mute myself because I'm gonna start driving and you guys don't want to hear the road noise.
Okay. All right, unanimous. I don't have any informational items. Does anybody else? Any comments from committee members? No. I have no report as of right now. So let's get into the nitty gritty. So I called the meeting because I wanted to nail down winter market. Because we are discussing two possible dates, possibly a third option that I have on the table. So I'm gonna just speak, I want to try and keep this on track and organized. So I'm gonna do my spiel and then I'd like to just kind of go through each committee member and get their voices and opinions, if we're all good with that. So there's two possible dates we've discussed. November 20th through sometime in February. October through December. And I have a possible third option depending on how everybody feels. Which I know some people want it through February. And it would be, somebody would take over the running of the market for January and February if there's enough committee support to want to do that. So I sent out an initial email asking, just because I wanted to get a feel about if anybody would be available or interested in a fall market, doing a fall/winter market. I had a lot of vendor support on it. I did walk around the last 2 weeks, talk to everybody about both possible dates. Everybody is in. They're okay with either one. A lot of our vendors are actually supportive of starting in October because with produce and that type of thing, not being able to do it in the fall, they're missing out on a lot of sales with mums and pumpkins and gourds and that kind of thing. So the produce vendors are actually really excited about it. Brush Hill, Broadbrook, Smith's, Canberra, Cupcake, Ricky's, Brewster's, the elderberry people who just joined us. Seacoast Alpaca wants to be a guest. I believe Dude's Donuts is interested. I wanted to double check with him, but he wasn't at the market yesterday. Bittersweet is interested. Staley wants to guest. New Curds, Katie said she would guest. Roasted Coffee Company wants to be there full time. So I would like October through December. That would be my vote. For a few reasons. One is I really would love to incorporate fall with our market. We miss out on so much and an entire seasonal experience not having a market in the fall. I feel like people love to come, like I love going shopping in the fall. I want to bring that fall season into my house, whether it's food, whether it's goods. And I think it gives us extra things to work with. We could have special days, like Halloween actually falls on a Saturday. We could do a kids dress up contest. We could do a fall festival type day. I'm going to talk to Smith's if this is what we decide, and see if they would like sponsor small pumpkins and have a decorating contest. So there's a lot of possibilities with that. Another positive is with the COVID cases going up and we don't know if restrictions are going to be in place. With this, we can actually have an indoor-outdoor market because a lot of the vendors have said, I would love to be outside if, you know, it's October, beginning of November. We wouldn't have to try it and limit our vendors at least October, November, trying to cram everybody in because we don't know what the restrictions are going to be. So that's another reason. I know there's a lot of craft shows that are held in October and November. I've talked to some of the crafters. And there are some that still could be guests in October, the beginning of November. But my main goal for this winter market as the market manager, I would like to fill it with staples. Like I want to make sure that our full-time vendors and the vendors that have the spots are, you know, produce and meats and baked goods, jarred pickled goods, and like health items. And then to me, crafters, you know, should be a secondary add-in, whether it's guest or part-time. And if we have the room for them, depending on COVID and the weather. And my final reason, which is a selfish reason, is I want a break. I want a break. I'm starting a new job Monday. I'm going to be working 30 hours or more. I am willing to be at all the fall winter markets if we decide to have it on Saturdays. But I would at least like to have January and February, most of February off before I have to devote 20 to 40 hours a week from the end of February through June on this again. I want to stay in my pajamas and not get up at 5 a.m. in the cold in the dark. And that's what I have to say. That's what I would like to see, but that's not maybe what everybody else wants. So do we want to, Pam, do you want to go?
I'm like, when?
Jamie, do you want to go?
I'm like, what's wrong? Yeah, I'm like, what's wrong with that? Well, we've changed our style.
Bill's got his hand up.
Well,
Okay, well, let Bill
Okay.
go.
So what you articulate is exactly the way I feel too. I feel like if we don't do anything till November, we're really missing out. And we can have, I assume what you're thinking is that the October market or the fall market would be an outdoor venue. We have the lights, we have the pavilion. It's beautiful in that time of year. There's lots, like you said, lots of winter squash, pumpkins, all the gourds, all that kind of stuff. And I think, people are still, I know there's, I talked to Pam. Pam said there's other craft markets, but that's great, but I'm not sure that should inhibit us from having, a fall market. I think, and, I think this produce that we'll lose out on if we don't start until November. And I agree. I think when you get into January, February, things are pretty marginal and people are over the holidays. And I think if we can have a big fall market and go up through, maybe just prior to Christmas and not do January and February, I think that's a great idea. My opinion.
Can I ask a question? Are we thinking of doing this at the pavilion the whole time?
No. We would do St. David's so that we could hold an indoor/outdoor market. So it would be at St. David's if we did the October.
So the outdoor market would be there too?
So it would be a combination. It would be indoor and outdoor. So we would be able to, because some vendors prefer to be indoors, some prefer to be outdoors. So we would have both the options for vendors depending on the weather and that sort of thing.
St. David's okay with that? We're going to put the outdoor vendors in the parking lot in the back?
Yes.
Yes.
I have.
Yeah, that's fine.
I have spoken with them.
But they'll have to bring their own. So what about lighting and cover? By that time it gets dark pretty early.
Well,
I'm just saying, we have all that stuff, lighting, water, electricity, everything down there.
So, winter market is held on Saturday mornings from 9 to noon.
Oh, that's true. Okay, got it. All right.
So,
There is no electricity at St. David's, though. They would have to provide their own electricity if they're outside, just so you know.
correct.
Yeah, but at least it's not an issue of getting dark. Okay. So it'd be in the morning on Saturdays. Okay.
Who would like to go next?
Jamie does.
Oh, April can go.
Okay. No, I think it's a great idea because I know a lot of farmers sell lettuce, kale, squashes, all that fun stuff in the fall, and I know they'd really appreciate it. As for me, I could definitely help out. I could go and do it most of the days probably. I can't say all of them because sometimes I am booked on a morning and Saturdays, but mostly people want me in the afternoon, so I should be able to help out and do all that stuff. As far as balloons go, I can do balloons or I can just help out. It doesn't matter. So I'm for it. I think it's a good idea.
I definitely, we would love for you to be there with balloons. And the great part about winter market is it's not as much work as summer market. It's not as extreme, and we don't need the massive amount of support from committee members every week to run a market. Honestly, if there were 2 people there, that would pretty much be enough. So at least in my opinion, from previous winter markets. So, all right, Miss Jamie.
All right, so for April, having a fall market, if that's what we decide to do, I still think the weather, I think that the balloons would still be a really great element to kind of a fall market, particularly when you're talking about the pumpkins and the gourds and maybe doing a fall day. And I don't know, I just think that your sales might be good if we could kind of attract those families still. You know what I mean? I'm not saying on the same level, but still have that as an option. I personally like the fall idea, but everybody knows how I've always felt about winter market. But again, I'm just like most of you, I do a lot. It's not just the market for me and my full-time job. I do a lot. So I get burnout too. So I really like ending it in December Same as what Lori was talking about. I do think that it would be a huge benefit to our vendors, particularly produce vendors, with all the root vegetables and that type of thing, which is really a fall thing. And I also agree that particularly for the fall winter market, you know, it's got to be about your foods and your produce and everything like that, and just having the crafting vendors occasionally, you know what I mean? Because it's really about, I think you're doing the core of what a farmer's market is in the winter, where in the summer we're making it a family event. So that I'm a yes for everything that Lori said, and it doesn't matter to me what the location is. I just like the whole idea of having the in and out and making it exciting. As opposed to the winter, think about it. People aren't coming when it's super, super cold. You know what I mean? I mean, the vendors are, it's tough when it's super, super cold. So I think this gives us an opportunity. And it doesn't even get cold here anymore, really, until January, February. So I think we could have a pretty good December, you know, and you're not in that deep freeze. We're not worrying about the icy steps or, you know, any of that stuff. So that's all I have to say.
This is Bill Thorne. Can I ask a question about, is there a possibility of having one or two food trucks at St. David's?
Yes.
So I know Dudes was interested, so he could be outside doing donuts. And I was actually going to talk to him about if he had an area in his truck, like if he had like a couple of little portable griddles like that you could purchase at Kohl's, and possibly just doing some breakfast sandwiches, if he would be interested in doing that.
Par
So-
4 also does breakfast catering.
Oh, hey. So
Set it in their truck.
So, hi, it's Ellen. So I was going to jump in and say, I think we can talk to Par 4. Rustic has also said, he didn't say anything about Saturdays, but he did say he wants to go back to where he's been ledgered for at least a couple of days a month, just having sales. So we could ask him if he could get there at like 11, if it's okay with St. David's, and then maybe he could sell 1 or 2 as people are coming out and stuff. He would be there after we were. But yeah, Dude's Donuts, I think that once we were in touch with the right guy from Dude's Donuts, I think he was aggravated that the other guy told me no last winter, or 2 winters ago, because he had no idea I'd ever reached out. So I think that food trucks are viable for the winter market. Definitely not in January and February. I think they all put away their trucks by Thanksgiving. But I also think that if we have bakers there, we could really, as the holidays approach, we could really maximize. We could have Granny's pies right before Thanksgiving and build up to that. And then we've got really good cookie people right now. We've got Ricky's, we've got Rogue, and we've got, I always blank out on her name. What is she called? The Eagle Scout mom, Dawn, somebody.
Oh, Cookie Goddess.
Yeah, I mean, so we could just say, get your cookies here, like for the couple weeks before the holidays. Like, I think we've got a lot of things that we could really push out to get some interest going, but I totally agree. It would be very challenging for me looking at my calendar right now to do January and February, because I just want one day where I'm not running around.
So this is Pam. I am the dissenter. But I would like to state my reasons why, because I think they're important for the future of the market. So I like where St. David's is. I think it's too small. So on the days when there's bad weather, if it's rainy or if it's snowy, I don't know what we're going to do with the vendors that are outside in the parking lot. It's bad enough to be out in the rain. It's pretty miserable to be out in the cold and the snow and the rain. And I'm thinking that with COVID, we're going to have to space vendors out more. So I don't know what we would do with those vendors on a bad weather day. In terms of produce, all those wonderful vegetables and all that stuff, that's all winter vegetables. They all keep. So they still need a place to sell vegetables in January and February, and people are still looking for vegetables in January and February. I know you guys don't think there's competition, but on any given Saturday in October, November, December, there could be 5, 6, 7 other local craft fairs in the area. So it is going to be a draw away from the market. And I think my concern is that I don't want to go to Our Lady of Lourdes next year and ask them again for a bigger space. So I think if we decide to do this, I think it needs to be the future of the winter market, because I don't think it's fair to keep going back and asking Our Lady of Lourdes for space. I mean, I think we need to think ahead. If we want to have a bigger winter market, St. David's isn't the place to have it. And so
But so my opinion on bigger, I don't think that's super viable for this year.
I know for this year, I'm thinking ahead, because I know that, you know, in previous comments about the market, everybody wanted to go to Our Lady of Lourdes because it was bigger and we could fit more people inside. And that was the attraction of that space. So I'm thinking in terms of more room for COVID and more room for expansion in the future. That's my thought about the market. I mean, the time frame is kind of dictated by where we go in a way too.
So Our Lady of Lourdes is completely booked through November.
To the 27th this year. Yep. This year. I guess so. I mean, I don't mind the idea of the fall market, but I think if we're going to do, if we're going to do it and we're going to do it at St. David's, we should not approach Our Lady of Lourdes again next year. I mean, it's like, how many times are we going to ask them for a bigger space? So that's my thinking.
But you could say that with St. David's. I mean, we asked them last year, we asked them this year.
Well, last year they never got back to us because of COVID. So we didn't actually turn them down last year. I'm just saying, if we want to grow the market, we might as well start in the space that's big enough to grow the market inside without having to rely on putting people outside. That's my thought.
Well, then maybe we should start discussing other spaces.
Well, this is Bill. You know, I think if you explain to them, you know, in a short email, how the decision process, we wanted to do a fall market and, you know, their space wasn't available. We'd like to engage you next year earlier so that we can maybe get an earlier venue. I think they will understand. I mean, it is what it is. You know, I mean, it's there. It's not negative against them. It's just the way it is.
So go ahead, Jamie.
Am I on? Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So here's just two ideas. Just ideas, it could be terrible. First idea would be, what about if we had it at Our Lady of Lourdes and we do the first couple of weeks 100% outside? They have a huge grassy area in the back and it's flat, I believe. And then we would move it inside whenever the day was, when was the day that they could let us go in?
November 20th.
27th, because they've already booked something for the 20th.
Oh, the 27th?
Yes, because they've already booked something for the 20th because we hadn't made up our mind yet.
But what about previous dates before that? Are they booked for that too?
Inside. I didn't ask about outside.
Okay, so, but they are booked inside.
They are booked inside.
Okay.
Okay, so, all right, so.
Nothing personal,
I wasn't
but
thinking that it was that. I wasn't thinking it was November 27th, because I was thinking, oh, we could definitely get through October outside and that would be fine, but November, that's pushing it.
I mean, nothing personal, but if we're gonna do it outside,
Well,
why
right.
don't we do it at the town green?
Well, wait a second. So that was what I was gonna say until I found, do it in October on the town green and then go over. But if it's to November 22nd and the town green is already booked for the October 9th, that Saturday, it's already booked. So again,
Yeah,
you'd
but
have.
what? The upper green or the lower green? I mean, have
I'm not sure, but I know it's gonna be packed because it's the fun run, the color run.
Oh, fun.
Okay.
It was actually in the wall.
Miss April.
This is me. I agree with Bill in saying that we should just send them a letter. Just let them know. Say, we wanted to go with you guys, but we know you're already booked till November 27th. So therefore this year it's not going to work because we're starting earlier, but can we put in, for next year and just, if they let us, book it now for next year. And then we just go forward with using the space that we have at the other place for this year. But we'd already have next year already taken care of. So both places should be happy.
I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I could ask him that.
Yeah, and then because if this works out that people like the fall and it ends up being a positive thing, we could say, okay, we want to start at Our Lady of Lourdes in October and book October through December or whatnot. And that way we can already have them booked for next year.
I can ask them.
This is Bill. Is it inappropriate to thank you for your effort, and here's a $200 donation for your troubles?
We gave him $100 last year because we backed out, because we signed a contract and backed out.
Yeah.
This year we didn't sign a contract yet. I haven't signed a contract anywhere yet. But they've both been calling and asking me if we've decided yet. So.
Now, when can we start at St. David's?
I didn't really discuss a starting time with them, but they don't have anything on their calendar that I know of.
All right. Does anybody else want to throw anything out? Ellen, Pete?
No, I mean, I can't go against what you want, so.
Should I put that in the minutes?
So everything you said, ditto.
Should I put that in the minutes, Pete?
Yeah.
So
I don't know.
I'd like to have a vibrant market. I'd love if we could still have some crafters and offer a variety of really nice artisan products. Hopefully we have some who will say, yeah, I can give you a week here and there. But I really like the idea of keeping it going and starting again in October.
So what are we going to do with the vendors on those bad weather days? You going to refund them? Are we going to give them another spot inside? What if we can't fit them? I mean, it's more of a consideration here than at the pavilion.
So right now, there are no guidelines for indoor markets, as far as I can see. I checked the governor's website. I checked DOAG's website, Ledgelight. I even put a call into somebody that DOAG put me in touch with yet again, and it was her cell phone. Yet again, no call back.
Yeah.
And I appreciate
So Lori, what the governor has said is that he's leaving it up to the municipalities.
Oh, yeah.
So
I'll start it.
So my feeling is that most vendors are not going to mind, even if they're only 3 feet apart. Everybody's going to be wearing masks. 90% of your people are vaccinated now. I mean, a good majority. And I think that we figure out how many people we can have inside. And those would be our regular vendors who would get, the majority. We'd have, some vendors swapping out. Like I know you did 4 markets the last winter market, Pam. So like if we had you for 4 dates or 3 dates or whatever you could fill in and then say, Bittersweet comes this week and that kind of thing. I mean, I'm sure we can somehow manage that. I don't think Smith's cares from what Terry was saying. So I think Smith's either that or they'll just not bring as much as if it's going to be a rainy day. But I think we could also put out there that at the vendors discretion, if they are uncomfortable with being inside, that they can either forfeit the market, or if it's like a guest with a one-time spot, I mean, I guess we could refund them. Guest vendors, I can always just wait and take the payments the day of that they're there, if that's okay with April.
Mm,
That way there wouldn't be a big issue refunding a guest spot here and there.
that's a good idea.
So it's Ellen.
So-
I'm picturing in my head how we were at St. David's, and we're gonna have a little bit more space because we're not gonna have Chef Jen and Natalie. So we're gonna have that front corner available where there used to have like 3 tables set up, and the tables with where we used to have the round tables towards the back of the room. We're not gonna need those either.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
So we have a little bit more space than we did 2 years ago, I think.
Yep.
Yeah, that actually frees up a lot of space. I mean, a good majority of space.
This is Bill, and I know we've lucked out. We've had great, weather on Wednesdays, but October, traditionally has been, the fall has been nice. So, I mean, we have
Don't
just as
jinx
much.
us, Bill. Don't jinx us.
Oh, never mind. Oh, the weather stinks in October. Never mind.
So, I just had an idea in my head and it flew right out. Oh, I remember now. So I was also thinking that we could, we watch the weather for Saturday. And if it's Saturdays, we can just say that with a primarily indoor market, we're promoting it as a get fresh and go market. In, out, which most people are in winter anyway, but
Oh, it was a big hangout the winter we had breakfast inside.
so, but we wouldn't have breakfast inside.
Yes, yes, that's true. This year, that's true.
And we could always by like where we had Pete as Santa and by that closet area, we could always set up a table or something if people really wanted to sit and have a breakfast or whatever.
Poor Jamie's had her hand up.
Oh, I didn't see, I'm sorry, Jamie.
Hey, y'all. Lori's hogging the meeting again. I'm just kidding. No, I was just gonna say that that spot that you just set out in the hall, we could also put the market table there, which would give another spot inside if we needed it. I do think that once we take out like you said, the eating tables and then the stuff, because somebody help me out. The chef's tables and stuff like that. I do think that we could probably fit in another 5 vendors if you think about using that space and then using the spaces for the tables. And then if we went into the hallway as a greeting, hi everybody. I do think that it would work.
Right. And on nicer days, we can always throw our market table outside. That doesn't bother me. It's a sweatshirt and a t-shirt and how do you do?
And we all should have market sweatshirts anyway. Zip up sweaties.
I hate my market sweatshirt.
Ah,
All right. So do we want to vote on market dates?
I've got a calendar up. Are you talking about?
So I would like to
all
do,
of October?
I would like to do October 2nd through December, is it the 18th? Is that the Saturday?
Yes, that's
Yeah.
12 markets.
Because the next one's Christmas.
Yeah, stupid Christmas on Saturday.
Yeah, that's 12 markets.
So that only gives you a 1-week break between markets.
What do you mean?
Oh,
No,
yeah,
I think it's about 2, almost 3.
No. September 15th to October 2nd is
2 weeks.
1 full week off.
Yep.
Oh,
week and a
Okay.
half.
we got
Because
the
you'd have
momentum.
Saturday, September 18th, September 25th, so you'd have, let's see, 7, 8,
So then
9,
do
10,
we-
11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Want to move it to October 9th?
That was what I was just gonna say.
That's
How
11
many,
markets.
how long do you want to make the season?
11 weeks.
So when would that start?
The
October
9th.
9th to December 18th.
Hold on, here,
I have a calendar in front of me. It would be October. Does anybody mind if I share my
11.
screen?
no, please do.
All right.
Would we change the price or no? Still
Can everybody see this
125?
calendar here? Can everybody see my calendar?
Mhm.
Yeah.
All right, there you go.
So what if we still do 12 weeks and we go to January 8th?
No.
No, because you got
No,
2
that's,
weeks off.
it's a weird advertising.
Yeah, that's right. That would be 2 weeks off and then a weird one.
Yes.
That would
so-
be an outlier.
Yeah.
Oh, what happened to the screen, Jamie?
You can't see it?
The thin pink line.
I have a big pink line on my screen.
Pink Floyd, it's Pink Floyd.
Everybody's having a trip.
I don't know what happened. Can you see it now?
Yeah.
Nope.
Can you see the calendar? Yes, you can. Yes, you can see the calendar.
No,
No, all I see is you, Jamie. Now I see Pam.
Oh, okay, then that's fine. So it just went back.
No, I still have a giant pink line down the middle of my screen.
That is so weird. What double H hockey sticks?
All right, I'm gonna be inappropriate. Who's pregnant?
Oh yeah, not me.
I think that's 2 pink lines.
What the heck?
must be Pete.
I'm pregnant.
Pete, it's a miracle.
All right,
Can
so
you
how much was, Pam, how much was last year's market?
145. We didn't
All right.
change, we did not change the price.
Okay, so my suggestion for the market, it's 11 weeks. I would say 120. 60 for the part-time, which I guess would be like 5 weeks.
Might as well make that 70. Because we're 85 and 145 now. Not quite a 50-50 split.
All right, can you say the amounts again, Lori? I missed that.
Yeah, no, it's good. Stop. No, it's good. So we could do 120, 70, and then I was thinking guest spots. How much were they last year, Pam?
25,
They were.
they were.
Do we still think 25 is fair as a guest spot? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So do we want to make a motion on dates?
I'd like to make a motion to have the fall market from October 9th to December 18th. That's 11 markets for the season of 2021.
I will
I
second.
second. Oh,
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Jamie, aye.
Hi, it's Ellen.
Nay.
Yep, I was just gonna say,
So it's 4-1.
it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 6 to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 to 1.
6-1. Okay.
But I really like the idea of approaching Our Lady of Lourdes right away for next year.
During next year, yeah.
And if they
Unless
say
they,
no,
unless we tell them that they somehow say, no, you can have it for.
well, the inside is booked. They have wedding showers, they have
Wow.
classes, they have all kinds of
Yeah.
stuff going on in there. So,
I think with COVID again this year, I think a smaller market anyway is a better idea because who knows what's gonna happen come November.
yeah, I think, yeah, definitely. That was my concern. I think we're going to be wishing we had a bigger space in November and December.
Wishing and hoping. Pam, do we need a deposit if we do St. David's?
Yes. Well, I gave them $100 last year.
All right, so $100 deposit. And then $100 a week?
That's what I told them we could afford.
All right. So I'm gonna make a motion to spend up to $1,100 on St. David's Church for the 2021 fall winter market. And Pam, you can word that any way it's more appropriate.
Okay.
Second, anybody? April 2nd. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Jamie, you had the original applications that we did for summer, right? All right, maybe we can edit those and get them out, and maybe we could start handing them out for the next market.
Yeah, so I can do that this weekend. I'm
All
not
right.
available tomorrow, but I can do it this weekend and have it ready for you.
Okay, perfect. Miss April? Oh, I didn't know if does anybody else have anything to discuss? I don't have the agenda in front of me. Is there anything else on the agenda?
So we have to confirm these dates, just, so I wouldn't, I wouldn't say anything until we have confirmation from St. David's.
Okay,
So,
are they in their office tomorrow?
they're often in the office on Friday, not always.
Okay,
Actually, I'm not home tomorrow.
I can
What-
call.
Do you want to call him?
Yeah, I can call.
Because I can call him before, I'm heading out tomorrow to go up to Massachusetts. But I can call him before I go.
No, that way, no, don't worry about it. I can call tomorrow. What time, they get in the office around 10?
No, I think they're there at 9.
Okay,
And I
So-
have the form to fill out.
okay. But I'll just call, confirm dates.
Okay.
Give a verbal commitment.
Yeah. And then Pam can fill out everything and I will submit the PO to Roxanne.
Yeah.
Roxanne.
Anything else I'm forgetting? No? Alrighty, so I adjourn this meeting at 6:15 PM. I am going to.
Do you want a motion to adjourn?
Oh, yeah, right, okay.
So moved.
Motion.
Second.
All in favor of adjourning?
Aye.
Who made
Night,
the motion?
everybody.
Seconded.
I think
Ellen did.
Ellen made the motion.
Okay.
Correct.
Seconded.
Okay, and then all in favor was an
Aye.
aye, unanimous. And I'm gonna stop recording the correct way this week.
So who made the second?
Pete did.
He did?
Pete. Oh, hold on. Stop recording.